Alex Mullen to make it 3-1 in the grand final. Puts in the penalty and wins the grand final for Campbelltown City.
No one attacks it, comes back off the Fernandez. It's the goal! It's top! Oh! And their talisman's got another one!
Every City back quick.
Jake King Dunn with a shot! My goodness me! Oh, can't teach that sort of stuff. Sends it in, keeps it low, and it's gone in! It's gone in! LA Uni have scored in time added. Tries to get under control, and the shot from Tolland! Salisbury into a 2-0 up!
Neil Butler with another chance, it's 2-1 to Playford! Persistence has paid off for Playford!
Long touch the keeper, puts it into the bottom corner. Beach gives him a shoulder after that as well. He's lost his clean sheet, and he's lost his head with a red card! David, this is massive!
Sing and the geezers too, yeah, we're doing this thing.
Hello and welcome to episode 14 of One Game at a Time. I'm Seb O'Neill, one of your hosts, joined by my three regular co-hosts. And my question for this week, I thought about it earlier. We'll start with you, David, since you wanted to pipe up. What is your favourite football song?
There was a song came out in 1978 ahead of the 1978 World Cup called Ali's Tartan Army, which was one of those football squad songs for the 78 World Cup. We are on the march with Ali's Army. We're going to the Argentine, and we really shake him up when we win the World Cup because Scotland are the greatest football team, supposed to rhyme with time. That would be number one. And then
you only get one.
Oh, that's it then.
I was going to say, how did Scotland do in that World Cup, by the way?
Do you know what? They did what they usually do. They dropped points against the weaker teams in the comp, which were Iran and Peru at that point in time, and they had to beat the Netherlands by 3 clear goals, and Archie Gemmill scored a famous goal to give them a 2-goal buffer, and they needed one more goal to go through, and I think it's Rennie van den Rensenbrink, if my memory serves me correctly, it's a long time ago, scored and knocked Scotland out. So not very well, but they never really do very well. They sort of just do the group stages and then sort of go home.
Absolutely. Very good to hear. Mark Talbot, and before you reverse the question on me, I pick World in Motion by New Order.
Oh, okay, yep. That's a fair shout. I actually had 2 honourable mentions, but the favourite one, I think the one that probably stands out the most is probably Waka Waka from Shakira for the South Africa World Cup.
Was there a second one? Or
well, the honourable mentions was 3 lines by Badou and Skinner. And then the other one that I do remember, I cannot remember the name of it for the life of me, but it was actually one that the England squad did with John Barnes rapped in it.
Yeah, that was World in Motion.
Was that one? Yeah, so that was that one. Yeah, so they were the other ones I thought of, but I have to say probably Waka Waka from like I said, that's synonymous with that World Cup. So, and it's used I think quite often now anyway. So.
Absolutely, yeah. And finally, Alessio Crocci, to you, what is yours?
It's an interesting one. I like the. Have you ever seen that Maradona clip, the "Live Is Life" song when he warms up every week? Yeah, that's my favorite.
Good choice. Very, very good choice. As always, we'll start off with our picks of the week. I'll go first. Big news, new team in State League 2, Elizabeth Downs from next year. That adds to the list of Barossa, Anglevale, Plimpton, and I think there's someone else that I'm forgetting at the moment. I feel like there's someone else.
Barossa?
I think I said Barossa. There's more teams, but essentially the news being Elizabeth Downs in from next season. Probably something that was inevitable, and I think we're probably expecting them to be one of the next few teams, I think, Mark.
Yeah, you kind of expect. I mean, they've been probably the biggest amateur team for a number of years now in terms of winning championships and things like that. So it doesn't surprise me. I have heard that they're also going to keep teams in the amateur league as well. I have heard that. So which would be great. I mean, they'll continue their amateur league charge and whatnot. But it's great for the area getting another team in, and a team that's got, like I said, a substantial following and substantial facilities for the amateur league. They've got a fence around their pitch already. They've got a massive club room, so everything's there ready to go for them, really. And they've got some good players, obviously, that are former Federation players.
Yep, exactly. I can't imagine the transition would be too hard. I mean, look at Salisbury Inter. They're currently sitting top of their league as well. I guess to Alessio and David, another northern team. I guess this will sort of lead on to Mark's pick as well. But where do we see the sort of configuration of it still being a north and south when there's, as we just said, Anglevale north, Elizabeth Downs north, Barossa very north. Clipton probably,
but not as north as Port Perry.
I guess where do you see the sort of structure going next? And this will lead into Mark's pick, which we'll go on to in a moment. David, we'll start with you.
Who knows with the current how can I say this? Who knows where it will go next with what the current decision makers are doing? It's really hard to tell. I've always been of the thought that we need a full pyramid in South Australia from top right down to bottom, and we need to probably look at third teams and move them into their own comp, and so that teams clubs who are trying to develop and build have their A grade playing against other clubs' A grades and so on. And a trapdoor at the bottom of State League 3, which is what I think State League 2 should become. It should become State League 2 and 3. I don't really understand why we have a geographical division in a metropolitan competition. It's just when I was in Scotland, I played in a national league competition. We travelled to Aberdeen and places like that, you know. And the thought of geographically dividing what is essentially a city just doesn't make any sense to me. So who knows where it's going is the short answer to your question.
I suppose, Alessio, for you as a player looking towards next season.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a good thing that we're seeing more teams come in, and just the way that the State League One's looking right now, you might see some more southern teams drop out of that this year. But I think that maybe in the future they might end up dividing it. I mean, we've seen in England how it was a north and south national league, but I think even below that there's like a northwest division, southeast division. So I think maybe the longer it goes, maybe instead of that line from the north, I reckon it might be a diagonal line potentially, and that probably helps include a lot more in different conversations. But again, that's just talking about how far that line goes forward, and it goes north and south. So it'd be interesting to see how that develops. But I think it's nothing but good things. Elizabeth Downs, from what I've heard as well, they got the facilities for it, they got the players for it, and it's going to be great to see a team like them in the league.
Absolutely. Mark, I guess we'll lead directly on to what your pick is.
Yeah, so my pick this week is the review of the men's competition structure. So Football SA has seen steady, I'm going to read this out, steady growth over the past decade, particularly in junior boys participation. This game continues to evolve. They're looking at doing basically a review of the men's Metropolitan Adelaide competition. It will affect basically State League 1 and MPL. It won't really affect State League 1 and State League 2 North and South at this stage, but they're basically looking to review across the board. So it'll be very interesting to see how that restructure develops and what what SAPA recommendations are, considering they've already done this for the junior comp. So they've just done a restructure of that junior comp, which is now called the YCC. So it'd be very interesting to see which way this leads. And all we can do is wait. They are going to involve all 40 teams. From what I can gather, they're going to send out surveys to all teams, and I think probably members as well of the Federation to get their opinions. So it's going to be interesting to see what comes of that. I mean, I've had a bit of a joke around with the boys about it, but you just don't know until we see what actually happens. But it does surprise me a little bit that they're reviewing now. I would have thought you would have reviewed it when you've introduced however many new teams last season. Why would you not carry out a full review then and go, okay, are we better off doing North-South, or are we better doing a Division 3? But we'll have to wait and see.
Yeah, I guess sort of my follow-up question is, I guess back to you or any of you really, is sort of, you touched on it. Why now? And for what purpose is why? Because I guess over the past 2 years, basically, probably the NPL and State League One have probably just stayed the same the most and been the most consistent, I guess.
Well, they both have. Those leagues haven't altered at all. They've still got the same amount of teams. Still, I mean, I think the final system changed a few years ago, so nothing major's changed in either of those apart from the teams playing in them. So it does surprise me. Like I said, why would you not carry out a review before you introduce the new teams and go, okay, this is the path we're going on for the next 5 years or 10-year plan? It just seems odd that you're going to do a review or a structural review once you've introduced the North and South in Division 3 now, or State League 2, should I say. Why would you just not do it before that and then go, okay, this is the 5 to 10 year plan that we're going to divide that into North and South? It just doesn't make sense unless they've gone, okay, we're going to restructure the North and South, which they have. And because of that, they've gone, well, let's restructure NPL and State League 1. It just doesn't, for me, it doesn't make sense. It should be done as a whole. As a whole, NPL, State League 1, State League 2, you review that lot. They are obviously introducing more teams, but is this review in light of the fact that the amateur league are obviously affiliated? Are they going to try and bring them all across so that there's a full pyramid now, or a football pyramid, or is it just, I said, otherwise I can't work out why.
Well, I think I'd imagine that would be the desired. I mean, David just said it before. That is the desired outcome of not only, I think, probably football here, but football in Australia, basically. That's why you have the new championship coming in. So I imagine in the end, the goal is that full pyramid structure. But
that's
I guess
the way Victoria have it.
Exactly. But I guess the way in which it's approached here, because then do you even had things like, do you add the Limestone Coast to that? Does the whole state become one big competition that's up and down in a pyramid? So,
well, that's, yeah. But go on, sorry, David.
So I was just going to say, you do have to regionalise it when it comes to the southeast. You know, I mean, I think my issue with dividing it into north and south just now is that it's in a metropolitan area. You know, I think if you're talking about clubs up in Port Augusta, because there's a decent sized soccer football community up there as well, and down southeast, then it has to be regionalised at that point. But I just don't really get regionalising the city.
Yeah, no, I don't get it either. And that's the thing. It really does look at, it's stated, it's looking at the NPL and State League 1 only. So what are their, like, it just opens up so many questions as to why. Like both those two leagues are running well at the moment. They're both competitive. So I don't understand why a review of those two, because it states in there of the top two leagues. So I don't understand why they need to review those two leagues. But
we'll be very
that's why I don't work there.
Sorry, David. Yeah,
I also sort of feel too much emphasis is not enough emphasis. Is put on on-field merit or on clubs' performances on field. You know, I don't really agree with nominating a club and then it gets in, it's accepted into senior competition based on an application rather than what they can do on a field of play, sort of thing. But that's a whole new kettle of fish. Kettle of fish?
Yeah,
kettle of fish, yeah.
Can of worms.
Can of worms. You open a can of worms, you got a kettle of fish. Either way, you should be all right food-wise. The only other thing I could think of is maybe they're going to look at running it something to do in line with the YCC and do it something similar to that instead. Because at the moment, the YCC... I'd have to get someone on to explain it properly, but the YCC at the moment, the way it's set up is that the whole club is on show every week. So it ranges from 13s to 16s, so 13s, 14s, 15s, and 16s. So it's the point system is based on their match if they win, but it's also based on, do they have enough ground stewards? Do they have on the day, if a player in the under 14s is booked for whatever reason, the actual club loses points on the day. So the 13s, 14s, 15s, and 16s all play at home on the same day against the same club. So for example, all of South Adelaide's teams will play at home against Sturt on the same day, 13s, 14s, 15s, and 16s. And it's a point system on the whole club. So unless they're looking at doing something like that, maybe, who knows? And effectively your 18s reserves and your first team are then points for the day, and it's a whole club structure instead.
Will be very interesting to see what comes of it regardless, I think. David, we'll go to you next.
Okay. I've got a couple of picks, haven't I, Seb? Which one am I doing first?
Well, you pick what you think, and I'll work to you.
New signings in the WNPL. How's that for a starter?
Well, there you go.
Oh, that's amazing. Look at that, as if by magic. Yeah, so new signings coming into the WNPL, Chrissy Panagaris and Abby Middleton coming into Comets. Both of them coming in from Adelaide United's A-League squad. And Claire Scarpin coming in for Adelaide City. She played her juniors there, as I understand it. Played a few seasons at Adelaide Uni, later selected for the FSA and the NTC. And most recently played Division 1 soccer in the United States for the Grand Canyon University. So she comes back as well. And then Lexi Knox is another one there, Salisbury Inter, American girl from Atlanta, and comes in with some European pedigree, as I understand it. She played for KF Vlasnia Scooter in the Albanian top flight, and in doing so, thanks very much. That doesn't mean to say I got it right. Made an appearance in the Champions League in Europe for them as well. And the fifth one there, Marina Asada, Japanese player, but that's all I really know about her. Campbelltown have announced it there, as you can see from that image, but they just said she was an American player. Don't know much about her as well. So that's exciting to see some of these new signings coming into the local comp.
I'm sure
and I'm looking forward to... What's that?
I'm pretty sure more to come as well, from my own knowledge.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, the other thing to consider is that, the women's A-League season is now finished, so I'm sure we'll see some of them coming into the local comp. So that's that. What was my next pick, Seb? I can't remember.
Yeah, two more. Go on, you can remember them.
Was the Hills Hawks one?
That was one of them.
All right, so yes, we took ourselves along to watch the Adelaide Hills Hawks playing the Adelaide Croatia Raiders last night. There was a few of us went along there as a little group and enjoyed our shavapps and chips and a night out at Jeps Cross. It wasn't as well attended as I sort of thought it might have been. Quite quiet, but it's a big night out for the folks from the Hills. It's as I've mentioned before, it's an old club of mine, and so I had a few familiar pals there I caught up with as well. And I think the game sort of worked out in a way that, the Hawks did well for themselves. We've got a little interview with the coach, Nigel Gill. Is that cued, Seb?
Yes, it is. I'll play it now.
Okay.
The Hills Hawks, Nigel Gill. Nigel, how are you?
I'm all right, thank you. Yeah.
How are you feeling after that? It was a close call.
It was
really got there.
It was a close game. We would have loved to have got an equaliser, but you can never be happy with a loss. But you can be pleased with the work rate and the effort that the lads put in. So, yeah, I've never felt so calm and pleased with my players after a loss. It's funny.
That's a good sign. So Hills Derby coming up this weekend. After that, you think you'll be bouncing back okay from tonight and get something out of that game on Friday night?
That's the plan. The plan. The plan is to take some confidence from the really good cup run we've had, and we weren't embarrassed or disgraced tonight. We were in the game. We had to defend well, and we got a slice of luck. But we're hoping we can rest, we can sleep, we can eat, and we can go again in 72 hours.
Yeah, okay.
So, good. Looking forward to
it. Good luck then.
Thank you.
Thanks very much.
Thank you.
Really showing your neutrality there, David, by the way.
Yeah, well, the thought occurred to me that if I'm interviewing someone from the Hawks and I'm wearing a Hawks jacket, it's maybe not appropriate, but it was a warm jacket, and I felt like digging it back out from the cupboard for that particular night. So it was good to see my local team, getting as far as they did in the cup, and they acquitted themselves well. Brett Saville scored a header that leveled the scores just around half time, and I don't think they were close to beating Croatia Raiders. I think Croatia Raiders were far better than 2-1 suggests, but at least they played well, and I think Nigel's hit the nail on the head. I think he should be proud of the team despite the loss. And have you got footage of one of our local friends celebrating with the Hawks, or attempting to celebrate with the Hawks when that Brett Saville header went in?
I can grab it. Hang on. Give me 2 seconds. Pad for time.
Okay,
Pad for time.
I'll fill in the time. So, there was a group of us there, and the Hawks goal was scored at the far end. Celebrations went to the corner, and one Johnny Kecko was seen racing down to the corner flag to try and celebrate with the team. So don't let him tell you he's got no allegiances. He'd just come from Mount Barker as well, because he'd been doing some filming up there. So is that enough airtime filled now, Seb, or do you need some more?
Almost. It's coming.
So we couldn't believe it when this bobbing head came running past us to go down and celebrate with the players. Here it comes now.
I was trying to get good footage.
There's the celebration. Anyway, if you're listening to this and you're not watching it in video, then that's maybe been a bit lost on you. So moving on very quickly, third one is FK Beargrad's run. So I commentated in their game in round 4 against Metro Stars at Frank Mitchell Park. There's my voice. And at that point in time, they were bottom of the table. They hadn't won a game. They lost their first 3 matches against Adelaide City, Croatia Raiders, and then Adelaide United. Then went down and played Metro Stars at home and won that game. And they've just been on a complete, I'd say, winning streak, but they have lost one in that course of a run. And then I covered their game at the weekend just gone, a 4-2 win over Para Hills Knights. And that result took them up to second in the table. So round 4, they were bottom of the table. And as we conclude round 10, they're second top. So just an amazing turnaround, and what a series of a run of results for Adrian Deloya and his troops. Unfortunately, a nasty injury right in front of us as well to Andoni Natsiopoulos, and we wish all the best to him. Hope he recovers quickly and well and comes back strong. But yeah, that was my third pick. Just FK Beargrad's turnaround since round 3, round 4, just been incredible. Second top of the ladder now. That's me.
Let's hear it. Finally to you.
Yeah, I'll bounce off that one as well. They've had a great month as well, Beargrad, and you can tell by some of their team of the week selections, notably Jared Clark, Luke, Trimboli. I forgot his first name.
Yeah, Anthony
Trimboli. Yeah, and even a couple of other players, Natsiopoulos, Nyankuru as well, been included a fair bit over the last couple of weeks, but. Otherwise, I've got some guests on tonight that will probably talk more about the team that stopped Sturt's invincible run to the season. That's Adelaide Blue Eagles. A 3-1 win against Sturt at Sturt's home ground is massive for them. And talking to some players from both sides of the game, they said that it's probably a must-win game for Blue Eagles. If Sturt won this, I would have hesitated to say that would be the league over already. After 9 or 10, I think, games after that game. But, yeah, they went ahead Sturt as well in their similar fashion. Probably, if you look at that goal back as well, it was a chance for Blue Eagles to take the lead from their own corner, and it went all the way down the other end and they conceded. But, there's some great goals in this game. This one probably not one of them. But otherwise, there was, a little bit of goading there from Duffy as well. Hopefully we'll see him on the podcast in the next couple of weeks as well. But, the start to the second half is what you want for an away side playing at a tough away ground against a team that's never lost. I mean, within the first 5-10 minutes, they scored 3 goals and, put the game pretty much to bed from there. But, as some of the players said, for Blue Eagles, this is almost like a grand final. Like, they had to win this. If they didn't, the gap would have been too big. And for Sturt, they needed a bit of a reality check after a great start so far. And they're not saying they played bad in this game, but sometimes it just doesn't go your way. And this is the first time it's happened to them this season. And now let's see what they can do from this. Otherwise, my other pick would probably have to be Dennis Basai again. A ridiculous play. 21 goals already for himself in the State League 2 South. Another hat trick this weekend. I'm not sure if Seb might have. They did post one of his goals on the Instagram. I'm not sure if it was a story or not, but he scored this left foot goal against Mount Barker that was it's just ridiculous. To say it's even his weak foot is, I don't know if you could even say that, because he just let it bounce, come across his body, and he took the net off, right in the top corner. It might even hit the post with the crossbar, but he could have had more if he wanted to as well. But 21 goals for one person in 8 games is nuts. So, good work for him, and further ahead Eastern United go.
Absolutely. Season looking very, very interesting the more and more we do go on. Very good chat. Very, very good chats. Oh, it should be expected by now that the door knocks.
Do you know what's funny though, Seb?
What?
That's not my door. That's Alessio's door that's getting knocked.
It's Alessio answering the door. Wow.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's
let's
not
go
my
see who we got.
Yep. I wonder
That's
if he's
funny,
gonna
isn't
do
it?
one of the- I wonder if he's going to do one at a time.
Maybe that.
or-
Maybe they live closer to. Maybe they live closer to Alessio.
Yeah,
Looks like
maybe.
they must have heard. They must have heard that Blue Eagles were in town, and we've got Christian Migliaccio.
Hey guys, how you going? Thanks for having me.
Very, very good. Very thank you for coming on as well. Very, very good to have players on all the time. The door's
Oh,
not.
that is my door. That's my door this time.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
you
I-
answer it now.
Yeah, sorry about that.
All good. No problem at all. We'll just have to wait for him to grab the door.
You won't believe who it is.
Oh, who is it?
It's Stefan Mateo from Adelaide Croatia Raiders. Come on in.
So here we are. Hello, gentlemen. Thanks for having us on.
Yes, thank
Appreciate
you
it.
both for coming on. Very, very good to have you both. First of all, the question I ask all our guests, because it's a good question and it helps us in commentary. Tell us about your journey up until now in footballing, your former clubs, all that sort of stuff. Stefan, we'll start with you.
Yeah, so I basically started kicking a ball when I was straight out my mum's belly. And it all started off when I started playing in the academy, and that progressed to playing at my junior years at Metro Stars. So that led up until I was eventually involved in the Skillaroos program and the NTC program. And then the progression from that was LH United. And then that kind of ended my, I guess, junior to under 18 senior level. And then I moved to Modbury Jets, and now currently at Adelaide Croatia Raiders, where I play senior football now. So, yeah, just as soon as I was born, really, I started kicking a football. So it's been my journey across 4 clubs now. And, yeah, who knows where the future takes me, but very happy with where I am right now.
Perfect. And Christian, to you?
No, I could say the same. I started kicking a ball when I was little, and I started off at Campbelltown City. Up until the same as Stefan, we went into the Skillaroos program, up into the NTC and also the Adelaide United, and that's where we kind of ended at the same time, where my pathway at Adelaide United stopped. Then I went back to Campbelltown, played in the reserves a little bit. Actually had a little spell in Italy overseas, and then I came back to Stoke Lions actually. Then I moved to Olympic, then to Modbury, and now I'm at Adelaide Blue Eagles now. So I've been around a little bit.
That's a Mark Talbot array of clubs, I think.
Hey, I was waiting for that.
I guess next, for people who probably who watch normally every week, they probably might be a bit confused as to this pairing, I guess. It might be a bit random to them. So I guess for either of you, just sort of explain, I guess, why the two of you are on together, how you know each other, and that sort of thing. Whoever wants to go, really.
You start off, Christian.
Fine. No, we met. Actually, it was primary school. We started to become friends, and then we both got selected in the Skillaroos program, and that's where it really started. We were just seeing each other every day at school, after soccer, and we just spent almost every day together. And honestly, I think especially football really made our bond really strong until today, what it is. But yeah, Steph can take away the other part while we're on here, us together as well, I think. So
I think it helped that we live very close to each other. So when we used to do trainings at Skillaroos, we would do drop-offs. We would share it with our dads. So that made it easy for accessibility to go to training. But yeah, if even in the off season and even to this day, we still do it where we actually go out and do training sessions together, keep ourselves in shape. And we also do gym as well, private gym, which is very beneficial for us. But yeah, literally everything we pretty much do together. Watch games. We're going to watch the Europa League tonight as well. Champions League next week. Yeah, so it's really just been built off ever since we were young, pretty much, and it's come to where we are now. So yeah.
Perfect. Love those stories. Going towards a bit more football, Stefan, we'll start with you. The game last night in the Cup, you've qualified for the next round. I guess how did you see the game as a whole, and I guess sort of the aspirations for the team now in a semi-final and possibly a cup final, and also national qualification on the line in your next game?
Yeah, I mean, it's brilliant for the club and for us players because getting to this stage is very rare. Like no other teams found it pretty hard to do this. So it's fantastic as a club. We've progressed to this stage now, but it's pretty much only the start to where we would like to see ourselves go and pair amongst those clubs like LA United and the A-League clubs, which is where the real talent is shown. But for us personally as a club, it's fantastic. I think the game last night, the score didn't really reflect how we played. I think we should have scored more, but that's football, I guess. It was a tough game in all. I think LA Hawks gave us a real battle, but I think we performed as good as we did, and we deserve the result. And now we looking forward to who we could be playing next, which is going to be exciting because it's pretty much getting towards the stage now where all the teams are going to be put together, and then who knows where it could go from there. But yeah, it's very exciting for us as a club, and yeah, looking forward to seeing what happens.
Yeah, I'd imagine there's one team you're hoping is going to be in the pot for the next round who's playing right now against Fulham and hoping to get that game either in the semi-final or the cup final. What would you rather? Would you rather play them in the semi-final for national qualification, or you win the semi-final and you play them in the cup final for the cup? What would you rather have over them? I guess it's a sort of a bragging rights thing.
It's a tough one. No matter when it is, it's going to be a big game no matter what. But I think to add a bit of extra flair to it, seeing them in the final would be something. I think that's going to be a really, really big game, probably bigger than any league game, to be honest, given, I think we'll see how it goes. You know, you never know how the draws go. Anything could happen. So, but yeah, we'll see what happens.
Absolutely. And then Christian, to you, as Alessia spoke about earlier, you beat Sturt, who were previously unbeatable. I guess, how was that game for you? And I guess, how did it feel finally, I guess, sort of knocking them off and sort of getting points off of them?
Yeah, no, we knew before we went into the game, it was pretty much a grand final straight away. You know, we know what they've been doing all season. They were undefeated. And for us, look, the first half played out where, look, we conceded first off and we kind of got back into the game a little bit more. We got a penalty, we missed, and we missed a few chances, hit the bar quite a few times. Going into half time, there was a lot of frustration in the change room and just really wanted to perform a lot better. But for me, I think as a club and as a team, we've built something that I've never actually experienced in the change room before, and that's everyone sticking together, no matter how good, how bad we're playing. And that second half, we came out firing, and you clearly showed that, you know, we're really serious about getting promoted this year as well. And yeah, we just honestly absolutely destroyed them, I think. But yeah, it was a tough game, and look, we needed to get the 3 points, and because it was either going to be a 12-point gap or a 6-point gap like it is now, and now we've got a chance, and we just got to keep going, and we can't just look back at that and say, look, we've won the league, because we haven't. We still got to win every game, and hopefully the results come in our favour as well.
Absolutely. Especially as more season goes on, I think we'll just get even tighter and tighter. Both of you, again, both of your clubs have European background, of course, Croatian and Blue Eagles Italian. I guess, what is the culture like being at those clubs, and sort of, I guess, how is it being able to play amongst the fans that are there? And even both of your stadiums are magnificent places, not just to watch, but I imagine to play at too. Stefan, we'll start with you.
Yeah, just to follow on, it's something as a person I've never experienced in terms of support base of what's at Croatia. The fans and supporters are behind you 100%. And it's, as a player, experiencing that, it just gives you that extra boost in your game, and it gives you that extra something to give in the game. And I think that's, as personally, something I've never experienced with supporters, especially in an NPL league, but very grateful for that. But I think above all, the food's always going to be good. I think we can all agree on that. But in terms of culture, yeah, it's a fantastic, it's like a family, really. And that's sort of what I've cherished at my time at Raiders at this point. And everyone's just close together, all helping each other out, feedback. And that's how you develop as a player. That's how you build a strong team. So yeah.
Christian, to you?
Yeah, no, look, this is obviously I've just come to Blue Eagles, and look, the atmosphere around the club is excellent, second to none. Like, as soon as I walked in the door, I felt very welcome. I mean, I don't know if it's because of my Italian background myself. It was kind of easy for me, but to be honest, I could probably say for the other players that came in, it's very, very welcoming club. And look, it feels like they actually genuinely care about you as well, not just on the pitch, off the pitch as well. And yeah, the facility is excellent. I love playing at home at Martin every week. It's an excellent stadium, excellent pitch, and obviously, hopefully, our record gets a bit better as we go along in the season there. But no, I can't say anything bad about anything. I've had a great time so far at the club, and I can only say good things about it.
Excellent. We'll go on to, I guess, the other questions. But for that, for those listening to the podcast, you already know the score. But for those watching live, FK Beograd 1-0 up in 7 minutes against Fulham United, FYI. David Mark Alessio, any questions from you? I'm sure that scoreline excites us. Yeah, any from you three?
I can go first. I've got a few to ask, but I just wondered, Christian, if you could tell us a little bit about your experience in Italy. You played for Chieta FC, and that was in Serie D, was it? And I just wondered if I've got that correct. So I just wondered how you found that and what your experience was there, how long you were there for, and so on.
Yes, it was Chieta FC in Serie D. As soon as I came out the NTC system, I got in contact with probably you guys probably know of the name of Ivan Karlovic. He got me in contact with some people over there, and I've spent, I think, 10 days just training with a couple of teams over there in Italy. And there were some opportunities, but it was a bit difficult with, foster family because I was underage. I think I was 15 at the time. Then the opportunity came at Chieti, where the owner had a lot of money behind him, and he kind of brought me in. Accommodation was all paid, everything was paid for. All I had to pay for was my flights, really. And it was obviously good for me at the time. And obviously, because I was underage, I was living with the senior team. I had to go back and forth a bit due to COVID at the time. But then when I really got my foot in the door, I stayed there for a good season. Was playing with the juniors and a bit on the first team as well, which is a great experience for me at the age of 17, I think, or 18 I was. It was excellent, just living and breathing football really every single day.
Oh, cool. And your favourite club in the UK is Manchester City, as I understand it. Is that correct?
Yes, it is. Everyone could say I'm a bandwagon, but I like Pep Guardiola as well. I like how he plays football, and I'm a big fan of it. So Man City is my team.
Lost in the final, mate. I like
Stefan, your favourite club in England is which one?
Surprisingly, Crystal Palace, and that's not just because they won the final.
And they met in the FA Cup just a few days ago, didn't they? Those two.
Yeah, I'll be honest. Like anyone I talk to thinks like I just taking the mickey, but I actually do support them, and I have been for a long time. And the fact they ironically had to win the cup final against Man City, who Christian follows, is just a bit funny. But yeah, I do follow them. I actually do.
And where did that come from?
To be honest, it's a bit random because I understand everyone goes for the big teams. I just feel like I want to be a bit more unique and actually follow a team which still has some really decent players coming through and have actually progressed into bigger teams like Elise for Bayern. Got Eze coming through now. But there's been some big names that come through the team that I think people have not really understood. But yeah, just a bit unique perspective.
And I also, but just before I jump over to the other guys, I just wanted to ask you a question. If Raiders and Blue Eagles were to play each other in a competitive match right now, who would win? And Stefan, you can go first, and Christian, you can go second if you want.
Raiders would win 100%, whether it's home or away. It wouldn't matter because, that's it.
Okay. And Christian, would you agree with that, or?
I mean, looking at their league form. In our league form, I don't know about that one, but okay.
Whatever happens on the day.
Maybe at home, maybe at home, maybe because of our form at home, but away, no way, no chance.
both grass pitches, I reckon Raiders will do the job.
Is that all from you, David?
I've got a couple more, but let's let the others have a crack.
All right, Mark.
All right, I'll go next. David stole my question about Chieti FC, so that was a little disappointing because I know someone that's actually in your family, Christian. I was chatting with Fabs, and he gave me some interesting info. And he also said this isn't your first time. I'll call this TV, but not the first time you've been on the big screen or the small silver screen. And Seb, have you got the video I sent through? I was just wondering if people should know about your last time on TV, which would have been a few years ago now.
Oh no. Oh,
So
no.
this is the lovely. This is the voice, and that is your sister, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, that's correct.
And there was a small snippet of you, so a young Christian there. So not the first time you've been on the screen there. How old were you there? About 12?
I think I was 10 at the time, actually. There you go.
So Fabs was nice enough to give me some info, but I just wanted to just say how impressive that is that not only you were on there, but your sister's obviously a very talented singer as well, and being on The Voice. And what's it like having to live in, I'll say the shadow, but live with someone that's so talented?
No, it's good. It's actually, we get it a lot that I kind of look up to my sister as well. She's done very well for herself, and, she's just following and chasing her dreams. And she took a really big step when she was young, and obviously that really sparked her career. And obviously I tried to do the same. It didn't kind of work out the way I wanted to, but, those things happen. And yeah, no, it's good. I'm proud of her, and I'm sure she's proud of me so far, I guess. I don't know.
Did the voices match? How's the voice for you?
Me? Only in the shower and in the car. But that's it. No more.
So you were saying earlier, obviously, just then you said about that next big step. This is actually to both of you. Are you looking to take another step in your football? You've obviously been through the youth system with Adelaide United. You're both still young enough to step into another country and play there. Is that still on the cards for both of you? Is that still something you're both aiming for? Is it just now a bit more of a let's just settle into Adelaide and play as high as I can here in Australia, or what's the sort of the plans for you young boys moving forward?
Go ahead, Christian.
You want to go? I'll go. No, look, I think yes, that's always the goal. Obviously, for me, I took the big step. I was really young. I left school to go live a dream, and I left home by myself to try and chase a dream, and it's still the same. But I think for that to happen, you have to focus on where you are and not look at the bigger picture. You have to take step by step. And right now, I'm just concentrating on where I am at Adelaide Blue Eagles, and game by game, step by step, getting the team promoted, because that's the goal. And obviously, everything will follow afterwards. But for me, it's about just performing. And there's a saying that goes that you're only as good as your last game. So I'm just taking step by step. But yeah, there is a goal, of course.
Yeah, 100% on the same page. I think when you look into the future, there's going to be mass opportunities, whether it's in Australia, different city, overseas, wherever it is. I think that's always a goal for all young footballers, definitely for me. But yeah, I agree with what Christian said about focusing and having one game at a time, because that's all it can take. All it can take is one really good performance and someone's watching, and you might get an opportunity somewhere. So it's really just, performing to your best of your ability, and you just never know what could happen. We're still very young, obviously, so we've still got a long way to go. But yeah, who knows what the future holds, but definitely still looking for that professional dream. I don't think that's ever going to die.
No, it shouldn't do, that's for sure. I'm 42 and hoping for that. The only other thing is, I was just going to say, Stefan, you were talking about earlier about meeting FK Beograd in it didn't matter for you which game, if it's the next game or the final to win, really, either or you want to win it. I reckon if you ask around the club, I reckon they'll say that they want them in the final, and just for payback from 2005. So they played each other in the cup back in 2005, and FK Beograd came away winners, unfortunately, in that one. So I reckon if you ask, pardon,
Was that a final game as well?
it was the back then before they introduced the Big Australia Cup and things like that. It was the cup final at High Marsh, and yeah, FK Beograd came away. I think it was 2-1 in the end.
Well, there you go.
Going from memory. But yeah, so I dare say a few of the boys, if you ask them, because a lot of them are still there. From 05 are still there around the club, volunteering and doing all that sort of stuff. So I wouldn't mind betting they'll want some revenge.
Yeah, 100%. That would be something, wouldn't it? A bit of revenge, but we'll see where the draw takes us. You never know.
Absolutely. Mark, all from you?
All from me.
Alessio.
Yeah, I've got one for Christian. I mean, I know you a bit personally, but I know you had an ACL injury while you were at Sturt. Did it feel like almost redemption, but just paying off beating them on the weekend?
Nah, not necessarily. Look, yeah, when I came back from overseas, I went to Sturt Lions, and that was, for me, that was a step to try and, show what I've showcased overseas and playing the NPL a bit. And then, yeah, I was only not even a month there. Pre-season, I did my ACL, so I was out for the whole year. No, not really. Then I left. I went to Adelaide Olympic to try and stay in the NPL a bit, because that was when they got relegated. But no, not necessarily. I'm fine with Sturt. I've respected. They gave me an opportunity when I came back here, so that was fine. So no revenge, no revenge at all.
And the other one, I guess we'll ask to both of you, but to Stefan, I guess now, both of you are yet to open your league account for the season, I'm pretty sure. But with you guys still in the cup, Stefan, do you expect to grab that golden boot instead?
Yeah, it would be a great personal achievement, but I think it's even more of an achievement as a team getting through a stage like this. And we would love to play an A-League team. Like, give us that challenge and we'll take it. Like, that's even a bigger thing that we're looking at, or I'm looking at as a team, to get to that stage, because that's really where your team unity comes out, and you're playing an A-League team. That's just something every player dreams of, really. But yeah,
if we had a bet, who do we reckon would get their first league goal first? You or Christian?
It has to be him. He's a winger. He should have already had his goal. I'm a CDM, so I'm not. I only score in scrimmages outside the box, but I do it in training.
But Rodri still scores, so Rodri
still scores. Honestly, I've had a couple chances, but not many. But yeah, it's nice. Steph should get it.
Just copy Dodero a little bit more. You'll be fine.
Yeah, actually, you know what? No, sorry. Against the corner came out and Skyder hit the koala, so you're right.
We do practice a lot of shooting, actually. That we probably should be better in front of goal, but there's always improvement for that.
All from you, Alessio?
That's all good.
Mark, you had one more?
I have one more question. Now I've got to ask you, Christian. Right, the time you worked at Gelato Bello and Ibusuki came in, I'm sure there's a story there. Please enlighten us.
I really do not know how you know that. It's funny because Stefan was actually there as well. Yeah, I was working on Gelato Bello. I don't know how you found that out. But yeah, I was working there. Honestly, Stefan was just in the shop. He was doing his uni work, and we literally saw Ibusuki get out of his car, and we were like, Steph, like, that's Hiroshi, man. That's Ibusuki. Anyway, it's a funny story. He actually came in for a coffee before a game. He was actually going to play at Marden, the friendly, which is funny enough. I'm at Blue Eagles now. But he asked for a coffee, and at the time I was new, and I actually didn't know how to use a coffee machine. So I told him that the coffee machine was broken, and then he had to reply. So I felt really bad, but I didn't know what I was doing. I didn't know.
That leads me on to the next one. How do you not know how to use a coffee machine if you're Italian? I thought that was part of when you grow up, when you're born, you're taught how to use a coffee machine. Every Italian I know, it's coffee. So how does that work out?
I didn't know. The coffee machine was just too big for my liking. It
was a barista, that's why. It was a barista one.
Yeah, it was barista, but I still should have known what to do, but I didn't.
A bit more technical.
We have to look it up, see if Ibusuki scored that day. Because if he didn't, we can blame you for not getting his coffee.
Even Steph knows he actually scored a hat trick that night. Steph said.
Yeah.
So
Oh, maybe that stopped him from having coffee from pre-game, man. You might have saved him.
Yeah,
saved him.
yeah. It was only friendly though, but still, it all counts.
We have had a live question come in through YouTube. Christian, when do you plan on winning a header from Mick Higgins?
I could actually say something as well, but when does he plan on punching the ball properly? But anyway, no, I'm not very good in the air. They know that. I'm more of a player that plays on the floor, so I'm getting there.
He doesn't want to mess up that hair of his.
Another update. Well, FK Beergrad now 2-0 up in the 20th minutes against Fulham United as well. David, back to you.
Yeah, so I just wanted to test the friendship between these two, if that's all right, just for a moment. So, Christian, I asked Stefan what the most annoying thing was about you. I wondered if you could have a guess and see if you think you might know what Stefan might have said. What do you think he finds most annoying about you?
I honestly got no clue. No clue whatsoever.
Too many things.
Should I tell you?
Yeah, just say it.
It's your love for Italian rap music in the car.
Ridiculous.
And then, similarly for you, Stefan, I asked Christian the same question. I said to Christian, what's the most annoying thing about you, Stefan? And do you know what he said? Or would you like to have a guess?
I would have no clue, to be honest. I've got no clue.
Well, to his credit, he said, I can't really think of anything annoying about him, to be honest. Nothing at all. Wow.
Well, that's actually very nice.
Yeah.
Good thing,
David, you're going to end a 15-year relationship here.
Yeah.
To be honest, that was my only thing
Honestly, I can say some things, but probably not on live stream.
Right.
Good.
We'll keep that hidden.
Seb, have you got anything for us?
Yes, I have a little quiz.
Great. Whew, that takes the pressure off me then.
Yeah, exactly. If you're listening, it's not going to be fun for you. But if you're watching, enjoy. There's going to be some photos popped up of players, men's players across the 3 leagues, but their faces will be blurred out. It's going to be divided. Stefan Christian, you're a team, and David Michaelesio, you're a team. And it's basically, I'll show the photo. Whoever buzzes in first and gets it right gets the point. So sounds simple enough. I've dropped my pen, so that's really good. Any questions?
Can I just pause something? I've just read the comments. I've just seen Steph. When are you making the transfer to Blue Eagles?
we got no name for that one, do we? Are they confidential, anonymous? Look, there is a transfer window coming, but to be honest, not looking at the moment. Looking to see the season out. I think it's the most appropriate thing to do. But we'll see how the season ends off, and then we can talk about what could happen. But probably now's not the best time.
Perfect. All right, we'll get started with the quiz. That's the wrong one. All right, first one. Again, teams: Stefan Christian, David Michaelesio. Buzz in and answer it correctly. If you answer it wrong, then goes to the other team. First one. Who's that?
Buzz.
Christian.
I think is that Anthony Costa? I do not. Steph should know this.
Yes.
You can confer as well.
Confirm.
Is it?
Yeah, it is. Anthony Costa.
Is it?
It is.
No, it's funny. I remember that because I was literally standing right behind him when he did it, so I remember.
Well, that's good. All right, on to the next one again. First two buzz in. Who's this?
Buzz. Come on.
Christian, who's this?
That's Dante. If I get that wrong, I'm gonna get lost out in training tomorrow night.
Are you sure?
That is. Hang on. No, that's Dante Cacciavellani. I know that. I know.
100%.
100% sure. Those are his tats. That's everything. I know.
Well done.
I've got a feeling this isn't going to go very well for us, boys.
No, you gotta wait. All
All
right.
right. I'm just not quick enough on the buzzer, David. It's all good.
Yeah, it's that old age of yours. All right, on to the next one.
Exactly.
Who is this?
Buzz.
Oh, I'm gonna go.
That was definitely Mark.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Mark.
Yeah.
Who's
Shit.
this, Mark? Or who's this for you?
Boys, I think it might be Jackson Walls.
Yeah,
The hair looks like that.
It's either that or Fortunato, but I think it's Walls.
Fortunately, it's not that long. Yeah, I don't think.
Are you locking in Jackson Walls, or
Yeah.
do you want to rethink?
Oh, we'll lock him in.
Who is it?
Jackson
Well
Walls.
done.
Yeah.
Who
Should
won?
know. I've been calling enough for their games lately.
All right, who won? Still to Christian and Stefan. Who is this?
Buzz.
Talbot.
Oh,
That was Stefan.
Oh.
David Crosby.
Is that? Are you confirming that 100%?
Steph, this is your teammate. You should know this.
Yeah, 100%.
Okay.
Who is it? It is.
Lock it in.
Well done.
The hair done it for me. The hair.
Yep.
The hair done it.
3-1. 3-1. All right, next one. Who is this?
Bingo. Yeah, I got it.
Who's this?
That's me. That's myself.
Why
That
do
is
you think?
myself.
Why do you think it's you?
I know it's me because I know in that photo, specific photo, my shoulder is rolled up and my head's just big in it. I can tell.
Okay, I might have made your head a bit bigger.
Why don't you smile at that? Give it a smile.
Nah.
All right, 4-1. I can't remember how many's left.
It's right. The last one will pull us back in. It's all right, boys.
Yeah,
the last
I
one
don't remember when the last one is. That's the thing. I'm trying to double check which one the last one is, so I know when to make it count. Let me just quickly double check. It's fine. All right, we'll go on to the next one. Who is this?
Buzz.
Yep, Christian.
That's Mark Marino.
Why do you think it's Mark Marino?
I just know. I used to. I know. I just know. I
You can tell by the hair.
I was at Kevin for many years. It's the hair. I just know. Yep.
Well
I
done.
was just going to say someone else there. Lucky I didn't.
All right, what was that? five or 6-1, something like that.
5-1.
5-1. All right. This last one is worth 100 points.
Oh, here we go.
All right.
You got to make it close, Seb. You got to make it close, mate.
Yeah, it's close. It's close. All right. Who is this?
David.
Buzz.
Oh, easy.
You know who it is, David?
Are the initials NB?
No, that's New Balance.
But
Is
you're
it-
right,
is it-
David. You're right.
Okay, it's Nicholas Bucco.
You don't get to have a turn because you buzzed before it came up, David.
Buzz.
Oh, you're making
Talbot.
rules up.
Therefore, it's going to go to Christian and Stefan. What do you think the answer is?
Definitely Nick Bucco.
Are you sure?
It is Nick Bucco. We know.
It's got to be.
Well done. 105 to 1. What a game.
105 to 1. Beautiful.
We keep it close. Wow, what a game. David, you should do quizzes, man. That was terrible.
I'm back on it next week.
Yeah, you got to
Yeah.
be back.
The David Grant Productions are back.
Well done, you, Seb.
Yeah, sure. I guess looking towards this weekend for both of your sides, just double checking who you guys have got. Stefan, you've got Adelaide City this weekend. I guess how are you looking forward to that one?
Yeah, it's a big game, especially for us in the context of the season. It was even what our thought process was last night, preparing for this weekend because that's the real game that matters in the terms of the league. So given where we are, yeah, it is a big game. So we're going to be looking to win and be hungry for a really good performance because we need it now. It's coming to the middle of the season and results have to show now. So yeah, it's a big game in the context of the league. So we pumped for it.
Absolutely. And then Christian, for you, you've got Cumberland this weekend at home. I guess, yeah. Hey, looking forward to that one. Like you said, hoping, I'm guessing, to get better home form.
No, that's correct. Look, every game for us is literally a final. Every single game I've noticed in the State League One as well. I could probably say in the NPL that every game is important, and any team can beat any team on any given day. So it's important that we concentrate and we stay together and stick together and play how we played against Stir in the second half, and I'm sure we'll come out on top. And obviously also with the home form as well, we have to pick that back up, and I'm sure we will. We've done a lot of things this season already, and I'm sure we'll get the 3 points on the weekend.
Absolutely. I guess, yeah, thank you to the both for joining us. It was a very big pleasure. And yeah, good luck next weekend. I don't know if any of the other guys want to finish off with anything else.
No,
No,
just
thanks
thank
a lot for
you.
coming on.
Yeah, exactly.
Thanks for having us. We appreciate it. Thank you.
And all the best for the rest of the season, boys.
Thank you very much.
Thanks for having us. Appreciate it.
Thanks for coming on, guys.
Okay, guys. Ciao.
Very, very fun having them on. Good chat. We'll go through the results of the past weekend. State League 2, starting with them first. Modbury Vista beating Gun United 3-2. Gawler Eagles a 3-2 win over Port Adelaide. Northern Demons beating Atletico 2-1. And Salisbury Inter continuing to do really, really well and win 3-0 against Elizabeth Grove. In the south, Adelaide Uni winning 3-0. Adelaide Hills Hawks getting a 2-1 win over Noarlunga. Western Strikers 2-1 over Seaford Rangers. And Eastern United 8-1 over Mount Barker, which Alessio got his prediction terribly wrong for that one.
It wasn't that far off, was it?
I suppose, who wants to start? And I guess, where do we want to start for State League 2, both North and South?
Alessio, you want to go first,
Yeah,
mate?
I'll start. In the north, of course, it was good to see Vista finally get a win back on their cards against Garn. It was not without a bit of controversy. I mean, it was 2-2 there for a bit, 1-1 as well, a couple more bookings, but they finally did get that win back on track. Salisbury Inter again, pretty convincing 3-0 win for them. Demons, though, they're slowly climbing up the table and creating a bit of a gap between the rest of them. And I think it seems like every game I'm going to predict them to win at home, because no matter who they play against, home or away, they just seem to get the job done. So they're a bit of a one to look out for in the final series potentially. In the south, as you said, my prediction was far enough off not to get 3 points. That's for sure, on the pitch or off the pitch. But yeah, otherwise that a massive week for Hawks, as you guys mentioned as well. And they looks like they've done quite well in the 2 or 3 games that are going to bookend that cup game last night with a win against Noarlunga, which is a very winnable game for them. And then that game just last night, they had a good performance, only losing 2-1. And they've got obviously the derby on Friday, so it's a short turnaround for them. But 2 games that are very important for them in the league to push up the table. Bookending, but that big cup game. Elsewhere, Strikers, another good result for them. A win against another team that I would expect them to beat. That's basically all there was I could see in both State League 2s. Adelaide Uni, of course, getting wins. They're trying to get closer and closer to Eastern, but if they get close enough, I think the goal difference is going to be telling for Eastern United.
Mark, David?
Yeah, I was just going to continue on with that and just say Adelaide Uni just trying to keep the pressure on Eastern. They're 2 points behind at the moment, so they're just doing everything they can to stay close. But that goal difference is massive. I mean, Eastern United got a goal difference of 35. Adelaide Uni next best on 18. So massive gap in terms of goals. But the one thing I did notice, I was just looking at the fixtures or the ladders in that South State League 2. You got your top 2 sides. You got your Eastern and Adelaide Uni. 5 point gap between them and Western Strikers down to 17. There's another 6 point gap between 3rd and 4th in that south side of the draw. So quite an interesting how it's been effectively it's a top 3. And if the results continue to go that way, it'll be a top 3, and then it'll be three teams fighting for that the next spot really. So it's quite interesting how that side of the draw, that side of the league is taken, whereas the North is a lot tighter. It's 18, 16 and 15 for the top three, 13 for fourth and 12 for fifth. So it's a lot tighter actually in that Northern League, which is good. And as Alessio alluded to, the Northern Demons are quietly creeping up the table.
Yeah.
And one thing I can say is teams hated traveling up there when I played up there. And so I think that's still the case. Teams struggle when they travel up there, the 2.5 hour drive. It just does seem to really affect teams going up there. And Demons really do make sure that they try and make that place a fortress every year. So it doesn't surprise me their results at home.
David, finally to you to finish us off.
I don't really have anything to add. It's all been covered, but I would just quickly mention I had a quick look at the reserves table. Adelaide University's reserves in the Southern, they are undefeated. They've played 9. They are 1-8, drawn 1 and not lost. They have 25 points, and their nearest rival, Eastern United, are only in 13 points. It's just interesting to note that Adelaide Uni's reserves are doing remarkably well. But that was the only thing to add for State League 2 for me.
Perfect. We'll move on to State League 1. State League 1 now, where we had... Oh, what? Oh, I look at the door.
I reckon it's Mark's door. Yeah.
Yeah, it's Mark's door.
Is it my turn? All right, hang on. Yeah. I haven't got far to go. Hang on. Oh, hello. Come on in.
Oh, who is it, Mark?
It's none other than Johnny Keko.
Oh, no.
Thanks for letting me in, mate. A bit cold outside. My hands are going a bit frosty, so I had to put my gloves on. So,
what a surprise,
mate.
Johnny! Why are you popping in?
Well, it's midweek, and what's better to do than not stay at home, but go and watch some football? I'm here at Beergrad, so just watching. I don't even know what time it is at the moment. It was 30 when you...
Are you watching or just eating?
No, actually, I didn't. Fulham. Oh, great cross in from Fulham. They're actually doing not too bad. However, 2-0 down at the moment. So Beergrad, 2 goals from the Constantopoulos boys. And unfortunately, I think it was Kristen, came off with a slight little injury. So I don't know exact extent of that, but hopefully it's nothing too serious. He had a little niggling thing happening before the game. So he's come off about, I reckon, 20 minutes ago, not long after scoring the second goal as well. So, and the first goal was a penalty from his brother, Jason. So,
how's the weather?
It's actually not as cold as I expected, but these gloves are fantastic. Great. Oh, this is fantastic. Fulham just had 3 shots in the last 30 seconds. There you go. Signorello is he put off a really good save earlier on, top left-hand corner, and just then as well, just came off the crossbar the first time, and then the second shot, the follow-up was just literally only, I reckon, 10 centimeters on top. So, but I've got to say, turnout down here is pretty decent. The whole grandstand is chocolate block, not a spare seat, and this whole far side that I'm standing on is all full as well. So, good turnout down here for a Wednesday night football, and a lot of different faces I've noticed as well. So it's fantastic.
I reckon we could do the rest of this podcast just watching Johnny commentate the game for us, and just his reactions alone.
Oh yeah, well, this is the most.
Don't forget the halftime food as well.
Yeah, I ate some fried rice before I got here, so I've eaten a lot. You know what? It felt weird eating at home tonight. I was like, this is strange. I haven't eaten at home since I think Thursday night.
Oh my goodness. I think it's nearly half time, Johnny. By the way, according to what I've
yes,
checked.
it's 40 minutes and 52 seconds right now. But I got the big screen, not as big as the car park I went into last night. They had a massive screen. But anyway, I also was chatting to a few of the Beergrad fans down in tonight, as well as chatting to people from last night's game at Raiders, and they're all excited for the next round as well. They're all hoping, fingers crossed, that it is going to be a semi-final between the two sides, which I think will be very exciting. I think a lot of them are wanting. I thought the final would be where everyone would want to play each other, but it looks like the semi-final, because they're all saying there's a lot more to play for. There's a Federation Cup final spot as well as the Australia Cup spot, so there's a lot more riding on that game than there is in the final. So it's interesting. I'm looking forward to it, and unfortunately Andoni's here with crutches on, so a bit disappointing not to be playing either. So, and Lorenzo's on the bench.
Okay.
Yeah,
so he's coming back from injury.
Lorenzo's on the bench and Andoni's on crutches. So
Yes, and now Kristen's come off injured, so hopefully there's not too many injuries in the next couple of weeks for him either. So let's hope that's nothing too serious for Kristen, because you don't want to have 3 players out.
I guess I sort of sorry.
I was just going to say, Johnny, keep me updated on that because I'm covering the FK game this weekend.
I will. I'll let you know how we go. And
Thanks, mate. Appreciate it.
No worries.
I'll just Johnny mentioned it. Then I'll open. I didn't ask it earlier. I guess I'll open the question. What would we rather see if it was to happen? Theoretically, would we rather see a Croatia versus Beograd semi-final, or would we all rather see it in the cup final?
Cup final.
Yeah, cup final. Nah, you know what? Cup final, because there's also a chance they might meet on the national stage in the Australia Cup as well. Double the chance.
True. Mark?
Yeah, I can't. I think I'd have to agree with the supporters that Johnny's spoken to. I know that I know Raiders would want the revenge to win a trophy over them, but to be able to knock them out of the national competition would probably be a lot more satisfying for Raiders. So I think I'd have to go with that way as well. Actually, there is a lot riding on that semi-final if they play each other in the semi-final. Like, as you said, they've got the chance to win a cup, but they've also knocked their biggest rival out of the national comp. So I think I'd have to go that way, the semi for me.
Yeah, I think I would agree too. Johnny, before we let you go,
just
quickly, show tomorrow night or tonight, depending on when you're listening to this. Who's on? What's happening on it?
On which show? The local game?
Yeah, your show.
Yeah,
I talking about, dude.
I have no clue. Yes, your very own David Grant. Actually, there's a lot of familiar faces on there this week. Your mate David Grant is joining me on the.
That's such a weird way to put it, but okay.
Yeah, I know.
Well, my mate, it was all our mates. Everyone's. You got a mate. You got a mate. You got a mate. Everyone's got a mate. David is joining me alongside Alessio as well. Well, no, actually not alongside. Alessio is going to be on Club Talk this week.
Wow. How did you conduct yourself, Alessio?
I think I did well. I mean, the teammates I had roping in were not as encouraged, but otherwise it
questionable. But Alessio was a standout. I just missed. Oh, Fulham goal. I just missed the Fulham goal.
So it's 2-1.
Oh, 2-1.
It's 2-1.
All right. Well,
I just scored just before half time.
We'll let you go.
Yeah, Mark and I's predictions go out the window then.
Yeah.
So I did predict 2-1 though, but see if it stays this way. Right before half time. It's 45 minutes on the dot now, guys. So anyway, you know what? All this talk about Chivap, so I'm going to go get myself a quick little Chivap, I reckon. Not a roll, just a Chivap.
I don't think we said Chivap once, folk.
No,
we didn't.
Didn't you?
No,
we didn't mention that word once.
No.
Oh, well, it must have been my head. It must have been in my head then.
Johnny, we'll let you go.
Yeah, boys. Thanks for having me. And yeah, tune in to see Alessio and David's face tomorrow night. It's half time now, so I'm going to beat that line. I'll see you guys later.
No problem.
Yeah,
Thank you
Johnny,
for joining us.
I'll let him out.
Yeah, you got to
Yeah, Johnny.
2-1 at half time. Very, very interesting to see how the rest of that one goes. On to State League 1. Salisbury winning 2-0 over Adelaide Cobras. Fulham a 3-1 win over South Adelaide Cove with 2-0 over Pontian. Vipers and Cumberland having a 0-0 draw. As we said earlier, Adelaide Blue Eagles a 3-1 win over Sturt Lions, and West Adelaide beating Adelaide Olympic 2-1. Who wants to go first?
I can
Mark.
go first if you like.
Yeah.
Or David, do you want to go first?
No, you go, Mark. All yours.
No, I was just going to say, I think bottom of the table is looking very interesting. I mean, the top of the table is Sturt Lion way out in front, 2 games on Blue Eagles at the moment. But the bottom of the table is probably the more interesting part at the moment. South still bottom after their loss on the weekend on 4 points. Pontians second bottom on 5 points. But the scary part is there's Vipers who are in 10th are on 9 points. So there's a 4 and 5 point gap between 10th and effectively for those two teams that need to stay up or looking for safety. So they've got a bit of work to do. and then Cobras are coming in at 9th on 10 points. So it's quite tight with those 4 teams, as in if South and Pontins can sort of get those points, they can catch them quite quickly. But it's looking very worrying for those 2 sides for me at the bottom of the table. And like I said, only on 4 and 5 points. It's scary.
Here's the kicker, Mark. Pontian and South play each other this weekend.
Yeah, it's a massive 6-pointer for them because if Pontians win that, they jump to 8 points. That's it's a scary situation for South Adelaide. It's a must-win game for both teams.
David?
Well, we've already sort of covered the Sturt Blue Eagles result, really, so we don't need to go over that. But obviously, that's a significant result in this competition. The other one I was just going to briefly touch on was West Adelaide, who beat Adelaide Olympic. That was a bit of a 6-pointer. Adelaide Olympic sitting down in sixth spot on 15 points, but that win for West Adelaide takes them up. They're on 19 points. And is the difference between 3rd, where they now sit, and 5th or 6th, where they would have sat.
Yeah.
So that was a big game for West Adelaide to win, and unfortunately a bad game for Adelaide Olympic to lose. That's it, Your Honour.
Lucio, anything to finish off?
Just going off that David one there, it was a screamer in that Olympic game as well. That unfortunately, because they were losing, didn't have much of a celebration from Dylan Pickett there, but. Otherwise, yeah, I think it was a great win for Cove as well. They're trotting along well as one of the promoted teams. And, yeah, I think Cumberland and Vipers are definitely going to try and fight out that middle of the pack for a final spot, but I don't think either of them will have enough to contest the automatic promotion spot.
Yeah, Cumberland have seemed to go on off the boil, haven't they? They started off really well, but I think the last they've lost, I think it's 5 games now, but I think they've lost like 3 or 4 of them in a row. I haven't got their league form in front of me, but I know they struggled.
Yeah.
Yeah, 4 in a row they've lost. One of them is in the cup, but yeah.
Yep.
We'll go on to the quarterfinals of the WNPL WSL Cup. Metro United winning 2-0 over Adelaide City. Football SA winning 2-1 over Campbelltown. West Adelaide with a 7-1 win over Modbury Jets, and Salisbury Inter beating Modbury Vista 3-0. David, we'll go to you. I think all round pretty much what we expected, except for what we predicted, really. in that,
I can't remember.
I picked an upset in the Vista game. I know I picked Vista to win that. I actually thought they might get an upset.
One person said Inter would win.
I'm pretty sure that was Mark.
Yeah, I think Mark. Yeah, I think you were the
only one who said Inter would win.
Oh, fair enough. I thought I'd pick the a cup set, but maybe not.
We all picked Vista to win.
I knew I'd picked opposite. Whatever you guys picked, I picked the opposite, but I thought you all picked Inter.
Yeah, I thought I picked Inter. No. But no, there weren't no upsets, really. I mean, it was just as you would probably expect. And you and I, Seb, up in the Barossa, bumped into, was it Erin Hood?
Erin Hood, yeah.
And she had let us know that, again, they were grateful, another club that's grateful to us for our predictions because we picked against them and motivated them to go out and get the win. So, Salisbury, you're welcome. Hey?
It got sent in their group chat, I think.
Yeah, something like that. Well, yeah, I'm not sure how the word got round, but yeah, the word had got round that we'd picked against them, and so that was served as motivation, and they won. So another club, you're welcome.
I said this at the start of the year when we did our league predictions. Use it as motivation. That's what we do. One game at a time. We provide motivation.
We are motivational therapists, aren't we?
That's right.
Yeah.
But yes, that was cut around. Nothing too surprising, I think. So not too much to touch on, really. Semi-finals next up. On to the men's MPL. Modbury Jets beating Playford 4-2. Campbelltown with a 2-1 win over Adelaide Croatia Raiders. Metro beating Croydon 1-0. FK Beograd beating Para Hills Knights 4-2. West Torrens Burkalla beating Adelaide Comets 1-0. And Adelaide United up in the Barossa 3-1 against Adelaide City. Mark, few shocks there. West Torrens Burkalla and Modbury Jets getting points. Burkalla their first lot of 3 for the season.
Who's that for? Burks.
Second? Yeah, they won 2 weeks in a row now. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, look,
And then
I didn't think that one in particular, the Burks Comets game, was much of a surprise. I watched Comets the week before against Metro, and they got utterly destroyed by Metro. But I haven't thought Comets have been at their best for a number of weeks. They're still missing quite a few players. They had a few more back on the weekend, but they would have all been lacking match fitness and game time. So for me, I wasn't overly surprised by that one. The Modbury Jets game, I know we all predicted Playford to win that. So I thought that one was a bit of an upset in the fact that we all picked Playford, but Modbury, just purely based on the fact that they'd only scored 7 goals, they'd conceded 14 so far. So they weren't in the best of forms. They weren't clicking up front. So I don't think we would have predicted them to score over half their league tally in one game. So they went and popped 4 plus Playford, which was very impressive. And then the other game that I was on the Croydon Metro game, which was decided by the goalkeepers. To be honest, I thought both of them were brilliant, made some crucial saves at crucial times and good saves too. 2 of them are in the saves of the week. There's the goal there, which was quite interesting because I know that Croydon thought that Klimek was fouled in the build-up. I know George Sonas thought that there was a foul in the build-up as well. From my angle, which is the camera angle, because I was sitting or standing pretty much next to him, it looked like a foul. But funny enough, I actually caught up with Regis, and he was saying to me that there was no touch from his angle. There didn't look like there was a touch actually, and he did go down too easily, and he decided to play on. So I'm not going to question that at all. Like I said, from my angle, but I'm looking at a different angle. He's looking side on to those players. I'm looking from the front of Klimek effectively. And that was what it came down to. I mean, Margouche made an absolute cracking save in the first minute. If Metro had scored that, I think it would have been a completely different story because Croydon's game plan would have gone out the window. And then Cody Ostrike with a cracking save. Again against I think it was Klimek who got put through, who won the ball high and hit a beautiful shot, but Ostrike stuck out a boot with a great save. So effectively it was a battle of the 2 goalkeepers for me, and Croydon sat in and waited for their opportunities. But overall, not a bad game, but it just means Metro with those 3 points go 5 points clear at the top of the table.
Alessio, to you.
Yeah, I thought even the Campbelltown win was very tight game. I mean, not the best football that was played throughout, but Captain Alex Mullen has had a great few weeks for the club. And yeah, he's got them vital points in this point of the season. Obviously, the 90th minute winner against City last week, 2 goals in this game. And before the game started, I had Josh Murray next to me in this commentary box, and he was saying that, and we both agreed that in a wet weather game like this, in a game that's not going to have a lot of tactical football played, who do you reckon will win man of the match? Because we needed to give the wine to somebody at the end. And both of us would have said before the game, we reckon it was Alex Mullen. And he did obviously have one of the top 3 best games of plays in the game, along with Malisi at right back, who seems to be having a great run of form there. And yeah, I think the other one was Boffa in the midfield. They're playing a bit more of a compact midfield now, not as much direct wingers. And they seem to be defending well enough, and they're creating a few chances. But it was surprising, especially getting a few goals in the midst of missing Murray and Marino for a couple of weeks now, and I think a couple of weeks more will happen as well. But from what I heard last night in the Cup, Maricic came off with an injury at halftime, and Boffa had a bit of hamstring tightness that he came off in the second half. Hopefully, it isn't as too bad as Maricic, but yeah, it's a couple of injury worries now trickling up for Campbelltown, and it's just come at the wrong time for them when they've had the best form of their season.
Yeah, absolutely. David, finally to you. You were at 2 games this weekend.
I was. The first one I did was at Parahills Knights. They were hosting FK Beograd. I've done a few FK Beograd games recently. I'm not sure that's just the way the roster's worked out, but it was an interesting game. Plenty of goals. In this match, FK Beograd at the time I think were about 5th. They could leapfrog up to 2nd as long as Adelaide City lost their game in hand the following day up in the Barossa. So it was a big game for Beograd. They've certainly turned things around after losing the first 3 games of the year. and then beating Metro Stars in round 4. So yeah, Harrison Conant opened the scoring. Koike equalised 1-1 at half time, and then Anthony Trimboli popped up just immediately after the restart, after the second 45 had started, to score and make it 2-1 for FK Beograd. And then that was a beautiful turn there by Konstantopoulos. Threads it through to Trimboli, shoots with his left foot to the far post. And then a free kick for Para Hills Knights, and Abu Bakari Hussein was given the liberty of the penalty box completely unmarked. I think it might have been, I was watching it back, and actually I think Konstantopoulos was the player who had him to start with, but had let him go, and it was a free header for him, and a fine goal to make it 2-2. And then Anthony Trimboli scored his second. He really did have a great afternoon, and that made it 3-2 to FK Beograd. It was a tap in from all of about 4 centimetres. Not offside, even though he's right on the line. But anyway, and there's the celebration in the corner. And then Andoni had his nasty injury, which had just happened before this final goal by Neon Kuru, who was following up after the ball was spilled back out by Delengus. And I don't know how that managed to get through, and finished 4-2. But yeah, look, I think the injury to Andoni Natsiopoulos was the particularly horrible thing on that day. It happened right in front of us, and he was clearly in a lot of pain and distress. It was really quite upsetting to see. And I could see players around were upset as well. Massimo Falco and a few of the others were, visibly upset at the time. So we wish him all the best. That's Andoni Natsiopoulos, not Massimo Falco, in his recovery. And that concludes my little talk about my afternoon at Para Hills Knights.
Well, to finish off, we were also up at the Barossa on Sunday as well, David.
Oh yeah, let's forgot about that. Yep. So Seb, well, it was your game. I was tagging along, and I guess you might want to talk about this one.
Oh, it was a good game. I think the main takeaways for me was actually heading up to the Barossa. Really, it was a lovely little venue. They got a good crowd out as well. And overall, it was a pretty entertaining game. In the first 10 minutes in particular, though, as you can see here, there were 2 goals which are scored almost back-to-back pretty much, and it was hectic. Also, the 200th league goal of the season as well, David, thanks to my mathematical knowledge. Is that the right way of saying it, I guess?
Yeah, I guess so, yeah. Isn't it just arithmetic, though, rather than maths? I mean, there wasn't any...
Same thing. And we beat the other game because they didn't score until whatever time they scored, so we did ages. Particularly, Harry Crawford was really, really good. And I guess probably the big moment from the game was Amlani Tattoo's goal, which will come up in a minute. I think in commentary, we were just talking about, before he scored it, about he was having a relatively quiet game by his standards, but, I guess his standards right now are pretty high. But then all of a sudden, 10 minutes to go, he pulls out this shot, which is just phenomenal. The power and the accuracy he has on it. And you could hear the crowd. And I think, David, I'll go to you on this. After that goal, I think it very much took the wind out of the game.
Everybody went silent. It was kind of strange because the Adelaide United supporters behind the goal were screaming and shouting and carrying on and everything. But after it, yeah, the game was over as a contest, I think, after that goal went in. But I think it just took our breath away. It was just a phenomenal strike. The other thing I was just going to quickly add was that pitch, it was a kind of strange pitch. It looked like a nice wide pitch, but it looked very short to me, and I mentioned that in commentary as well. And I was just, when you had the visuals up there, it just sort of reminded me that it just looks a very short pitch. I don't know what length it is, but it just seemed very short.
No, I think I agree with you. It definitely seemed... I think I said in commentary as well, I compared it to maybe like a Campbelltown or a Surface FM, and you definitely felt that it was a bit smaller.
Yeah, just its length. I think it felt wide, but it just didn't feel very long.
But a lovely place.
Similar to the pitch at Port Pirie, I remember playing there as well. It looked like both goal boxes were quite close to each other, and most goal kicks would go over the halfway line without even trying that hard. But yeah.
It's a little surprising with the artificial if it is shorter, because they're normally made all the exact same size.
Or it might just have been deceiving.
So they're I'm just wondering if it was deceiving because of those blue lines across it. But
Yeah,
Maybe.
most of the artificials, when they give it to one of the contractors, whoever wins it, which was originally green play, I know all the green play ones were effectively like they basically made them to a stock standard size, or like the largest, almost the largest size you could actually have for a pitch, and that was the template. So
There's a wee guy in a factory and he's got a pair of scissors and he's cutting it 110 meters that way, and he's cutting it across 60 meters that way.
when they lay it at some parts, they do use scissors to just cut it like that.
Yeah. Okay.
Right, because I did get to watch them install the Seaford one many years ago now. I'd pop past every so often, and when they like doing the finer details in corners or whatever, they would sometimes just trim it with the scissor effectively. So it wasn't scissors, it was something stronger, but effectively it looked like scissors. So.
Yeah, big scissors. Finally, on to, I guess, the Cup quarterfinals. We can't really speak too much other than that, well, at least for me personally, the Croatia Hills Hawks game. Had the game last week, which Comets won. Croatia beating Hills Hawks 2-1, and then last night Metro winning 3-1. And as it stands, Beograd looked to be going through, but it's still 2-1, still in the balance. So a final four of Adelaide Croatia Raiders, Metro Stars, Adelaide Comets, and then still between Beograd and Fulham. I suppose just quickly touching on the game we were at, David, Croatia Raiders, Hills Hawks. I think the main thing for me to mention is how good Connor Hudson was. I think he was phenomenal in keeping the game as tight as it was.
Yeah, so for those who don't know, Connor Hudson's the goalkeeper there, and they have another very good goalkeeper in the Japanese import. And I forget his name, I'm sorry. And he was there last night, and he must be disappointed because he had a great start to the year, got injured. Connor Hudson reclaimed his spot. And has been playing very well by all accounts since. And I feel Connor Hudson was probably Hawks' best player last night. But I mean, defensively, the Hawks did very well. Croatia Raiders were guilty of missing some chances that you think they probably should have put away. But you got to credit the Hawks. I think at the back they played very well. Didn't have a lot going forward, and their goal, as Nigel Gill described, was a stroke of luck. Maybe a header from the smallest player in the park, and Brett Saville, is it? Yeah, so he scored the header, which made it 1-1 and gave us a bit of interest through the second half. But I thought they did well. Entertaining game, but I guess the favourites were always, well, the favourites won. So there you go. But yeah, a good performance from the visitors, and Connor Hudson probably best on ground.
Absolutely, very entertaining match to be at as well. And meeting through of your Hills friends, which was very nice to meet them.
Yes, I introduced you to all of my chums, didn't I? Including Robbie Bucco.
Yes,
yes, who's a cousin of sorts of Nicholas Bucco, and has been at the Hawks for a long time. Played for Croydon. I don't know if you know him, Mark. Robbie Bucco played for Croydon for a long time. Polonia. He's my age, so he's maybe a bit before your time. But yeah, and yes, I had fun with them.
Yeah, very good time. All right, on to predictions. We're going to do it a bit differently. I think we're going to trial it for 1 week. We posted our predictions, and they went really, really well. And as I'm sure if you're listening or watching, this show goes for quite long. So what we're going to do is we're going to do one game. We're going to make this harder than Alessio. One game from each league live, and the rest of our predictions will be posted on tomorrow for everyone to see. So keeps people engaged, keeps the podcast somewhat succinct for a podcast. I think an hour and a half is an okay length. And then, makes it better. Is that okay, Alessio?
Yeah, it should be fine. I'll just write out my generic thing, and I'll tell you where we are just before you do those selections too.
We'll go now. How did we go last week, Alessio?
Well, you guys all did great. I didn't do that well.
Doesn't he have a theme tune?
No, we don't. We don't have an intro yet. We really don't have an intro. We nearly had an intro.
We nearly. I loved it just quietly, but anyway.
Yeah, what was the general consensus? Maybe next week?
I loved it. I laughed hard.
You're the creator. Yeah.
Don't say that. No, that's not an opinion. That's just saying, do you think it was good or bad? But
I
bad
laughed hard.
Alessio, it's your segment.
I thought it was pretty cool, but
okay, David.
It has potential.
Okay, maybe next week. I might use it next week. Alessio, how do we do?
Yeah, so everybody did pretty well in terms of getting perfect scores, except for me. But I had the most correct winners with 17. But David got 2 games perfect score. That was 2-1 Hawks men to win in the league against Noarlunga. He also had 3-1 Fulham against South Adelaide. Mark had the 1 correct. Perfect. That was 2-1 Campbelltown men. Seb had 3 perfect.
Oh.
That was 3-0 Salisbury Inter men, 2-0 Salisbury United men, and 3-1 Metro in the cup. He didn't predict to go to extra. He didn't predict it to go like to only 90 minutes, but he got the correct score of it being 3-1. So that does put David onto 205 points. Mark onto 210, equal with Seb on 210. And then I'm at bottom of the league with 202. So a couple of changes this week in the leaderboard.
Is that the first time I've been off the bottom?
It is, I reckon.
Yeah.
But
Well
you,
done.
David,
But yeah, still pretty close. I mean, we're all within 8 points. So
yeah,
you would say that. All right. 1 from each league. We'll do 1 from North and South for State League 2 as well. All right. From the North, we will go for Northern Demons versus Port Adelaide. I'm going to go for...
you had to pick that game, didn't you?
Why?
2 of my former clubs. I don't want to disappoint either of them.
Yeah, true. I'm going to go for Northern Demons to win 3-1.
I've gone the same. 3-1 Demons.
I'll go 3-2 for the Demons.
All right. To the South. Oh, sorry. Mark.
No, all good. I'll go 4-2 Demons.
No, I forgot because past 2 weeks he's left by this point, you know.
I know. Sorry, lads.
I'm not used to it being
All
here.
good. I'm here all week. I'm here all night this one.
You're here now, and it's the one time we're doing it shorter.
Yeah. I like that.
In the South, I think the only one to predict is Mount Barker versus Adelaide Hills Hawks.
Oh, yes.
I'm going
Hawks 4-2.
I'm going to go 3-1 Hawks.
I don't think Mount Barker will score, and I think Hawks will get 3-0.
Alessio, you want to be in your own club's good books this week after your prediction last week.
Actually, big signing news as of tonight. We've signed a new goalkeeper because of our 2 injured goalkeepers. One, Josh Hutchison, getting a what's it called? What's it called when you get like knocked
An
out?
injury?
Concussion injury on the weekend, and Thomas Di Maria did his metatarsal. So we have signed Dawson Bojanic, who he played, I'm pretty sure, for Beograd in the past, played overseas, I think in Sweden. So he's going to be a big in, and I'm expecting he'll be the first team goalkeeper this week. I'm going to go... We actually are also undefeated at the Summit in this derby.
And the prediction?
He's not going to get it in before kickoff at this rate.
I'm going to go 2-1 Hawks.
Okay. WSL, we're going to go for Modbury Vista versus Cove. I'm going to go 3-1 Vista.
Sorry, Vista and Cove, did you say?
Yes.
I'm going to go 4-2 to Vista.
I've gone 5-2 Vista.
I'll go 4-1 Vista.
Okay. State League 1, we're going to do that 6-pointer. South Adelaide versus Pontian Eagles. I'm going to go 3-2 Pontian.
I'm going 3-3 draw.
I'm going to go for a South Adelaide win. 3-1.
That's what I was going to do. So I'm going to go 4-1 South Adelaide.
WMPL, let's have a look at Salisbury Inter versus Adelaide City. I'm going to go 1-1.
1-0 Salisbury Inter.
I'm going to go for a Salisbury Inter win as well. I'll go 3-1.
I've gone 2-0 Inter.
Actually, I'm just going to change that. I'm going to change that. I'm going to go for a draw, 2-2.
Okay. And in the men's MPL, let's have a look at FK Beograd versus Campbelltown City.
I knew you were going to do that one. That's such an enticing game.
Is that the one you're on, Mark?
Yeah, I'm on that one as well. I'm on the Bacala game on Friday night too.
I'm going to go Beograd to win 3-0.
Ooh, wow. I'm going to go FK 2-1.
I'm actually going to go because FK Beograd have got a game tonight. Campbelltown have had a wee rest. Campbelltown on a bit of a roll. Beograd maybe
last night, but
they did too. Yeah. I'm still going to go for. I'm going to go for Campbelltown to win this one 3-2.
I've gone 3-2 FK Beograd.
Perfect. Well, rest of our predictions by the time you're listening to this or watching this again, unless you're watching it live, should be up on our Instagram and Facebook. So do make sure to go check those out. And if we get them wrong or we predict against your team,
drop us a line.
Yeah.
Why not? Interact with us. That's what we want to see.
Give us the impressions. Keep sending it in your group chats. Just use that share button, please.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's it. Exactly right. We love it.
If you think we're dead wrong, comment it. If you think we're right and you love us for predicting you to win, comment it as well.
And you know what? Even if you want to predict as well, put your predictions in as well. Because you know what? If we can, maybe next year we'll look at going, all right, let's do a wider thing where we do a whole league with all different people.
Absolutely.
So, before we all go, Seb, what games are you on this weekend?
I'm at Metro for a double header, women's and men's.
Oh, nice.
Metro versus Flinders, which I will have to confirm and co-com, but I should have one. And then the men's is Metro versus Para Hills, and which will be with Alessio. And we haven't done, and according to my record, I don't think we've done a game in about a year and a half, Alessio, together since Para Hills, I reckon.
Yeah, I was on that one too.
I was on Boundary.
Yeah.
So will be a fun little reunion in the box for the first time.
and David, what games are you covering this weekend?
I'm going to be at the WNPL on Friday night between Campbelltown City
and West Adelaide.
and West Adelaide. It's top versus bottom. And I think I have a co-commentator. I think Sarah Taylor might be joining me.
Oh, very nice.
Nice.
Yeah. Although that's not confirmed because I haven't got a spare headset yet. She's supposed to be picking it up. I'm on Saturday. I'm going up to Playford. I'm going up to Ramsey Park for my first trip.
They will look after you there. Love that. Enjoy that one.
I can't remember who they're playing. They're playing
Comets.
Comets. So that should be juicy.
Yeah, it should be. Say hello to Albie for me. He'll look after you.
Okay, thanks. Good, I will do. I'm looking forward to it.
And Alessio, besides the COCOM, is that your only game this weekend?
It is, yep.
You know, you've got boyfriend duties, haven't you, this weekend?
Correct.
Awesome, well done. No, that's good.
I've got 2 days of watching Mount Barker, so tough to get to another one.
Oh dear.
How good.
I'll be on the Bacala game on Friday night at Jack Smith Park. Hopefully, I think they're going for a 3rd straight win.
Yes.
And then I'll be at the FK Beograd game on Saturday evening at 5:00. I'll be on that one against Campbelltown, which will be a big game. Actually, while I think of it, does anyone know why Welsh was wearing number 4 on the weekend and not 22?
I think they keep on changing numbers.
Because he's never changed numbers. He's always worn 22.
I've noticed that West Torrens Bacala, their numbers have been very inconsistent. Because I have, from the start of the season, I have numbers differently. And when I did their game against Playford, Alan Walsh, I remember his number was different. And there are a few other players that had different numbers from even the week before. So
I wonder if their away kit's only numbered 1 to 16. So he's got to pick a different number and their home kits are whatever number they want to choose.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
That'd be interesting. I'll look into that and I'll come back next week with an update.
Very, very good.
Boys, thanks.
David, Alessio, anything from either of you to finish?
Well, you know how earlier on you asked.
Big games all around the leagues. If you want to join us Friday night, I'm not sure if David will be there, but there is, of course, the Hills Derbies on Friday night. And yeah, elsewhere you've got them on the live stream, but yeah, the leagues are getting nice and tasty now, and you want to see those teams in good form.
Yeah, David, finally.
Earlier on, you asked me about my favorite football song.
Yep.
Yeah, I ran away to my little record collection because I've been getting my vinyl out. I've got a new vinyl record up there in the corner every day. Nobody ever asked me about them.
I know that they're there, so I look at which one you've got each week. So,
what's the Proclaimers album, Sunshine on Leith, with my can of Iron Brew up there. But I ran off to my little collection because when I was a wee boy, I used to collect football records, and I found two. I'll get some more out maybe for next week. But I found two. The first one I found, which I'll just tease you with by bringing it in here, says official souvenir record. And it's the Northern Ireland 1982 World Cup squad with Dana singing Your Man.
Wow.
And then the other one I found here was a similar record from 1986 World Cup. It's the Portuguese World Cup squad singing, and my Portuguese is very good, as you'll remember. Hino a Seleção Nacional de Futebol de Vitória em Vitória, Mexico, 1986. That's the Portuguese World Cup squad. Yeah. I've got a whole heap of them, so I'm going to dig them out next week and we're going to play them.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
Sounds perfect. All right. We are done for another week. Thank you for joining us. Make sure to interact with all our posts and everything. Make sure to follow and subscribe and, all that fun stuff. We'll see you at Games Rounds on the weekend, wherever you may be, wherever we may be. Enjoy your weekend. Enjoy football. Have a good week and bon voyage, I was trying to think today. Bon voyage, boys.
Have a nice trip.
Alex Mullen to make it 3-1 in the grand final. Puts in the penalty and wins the grand final for Campbelltown City.
No one attacks it, comes back off the Fernandez. It's goal! It's time! Oh! And then Talisman's got another one.
Harry City back quick.
Jake King done with a shot! My goodness me! Can't teach that sort of stuff. Sends it in, keeps it low, and it's gone in! It's gone in! LA Uni have scored in time added. Tries to get under control, and the shot from Tolland! Salisbury into it, 2-0 up!
Still Butler with another chance, it's 2-1 to Playford! Persistence has paid off for Playford!
One touch the keeper, puts it into the bottom corner. Beach gives him a shoulder after that as well. He's lost his clean sheet and he's lost his head with a red card. David, this is massive.
Skills to make the girls sing and the geezers too. Yeah, we're doing this thing.